I'm Tim of Govberg, and welcome to the world of IWC. Today, I'll be your guide to the IWC Big Pilot's Watch Perpetual Calendar, edition Antoine de Saint Exupery, reference 5038-01. This is an automatic winding watch by means of case-back winding rotor. However, it can be manually wound by taking the crown and threading it counterclockwise till you hear it pop. It's released from its threaded sleeve. Now turn 20 to 30 turns in a clockwise direction. You'll know the watch is running because the constant seconds hand within the register at 9 o'clock will start to advance. At this point, you can set the time, set the calendar, and you can simply wear the watch and it'll continue winding itself due to the wrist's natural kinetic energy. However, should you wish to wind the watch fully up to its maximum rated power reserve of 7 days or 168 hours, simply continue turning in a clockwise direction. You'll note that the power reserve gauge within the register at 3 o'clock reaches the 7th day, but continue turning until you hear a subtle click or tick within the watch. That's the bridle-style mainspring slipping by design. It lets you know the watch is fully wound, and it alleviates any extra stress such that you cannot accidentally overwind the watch. To use the stop seconds or time setting function, pull the crown out 2 0.2 from the winding position. Wait for the seconds hand to reach the index at 60, and when it does, pull the crown out to the second detent and its stop. At the stop, you'll be able to set the time, go online and find an accurate reference such as an atomic clock, and set the same hour, but set the watch to the next nearest minute relative to the atomic clock. At this point, wait for the seconds hand of the atomic clock or the seconds indicator to precisely match the second that you set, as well as the minute and the hour. When they all line up, push the crown back in. The seconds hand continues its advance, as do the other two. Now you've synchronized to a reference time. All functions of the calendar are coordinated, and they're operated exclusively through the crown. In the second position, 1 detent out from the winding position, you use the crown to adjust the date. The day advances in sync. The month advances in sync. The moon phase and the year likewise. It's mechanically programmed such that it is fully sequential, and every indication is a real day and date, moon phase, and year combination. They can never get out of sync. Thus, adjusting the perpetual calendar is as simple as adjusting the time on a 3-hand watch with a date function. You simply turn the crown, and the watch does the math. Keep in mind, however, that it operates only in one direction, so should you advance past your current date for the year indicated, you will have to wait for the date to catch up with the watch. At that point, it's best to pull the crown, stop the movement, and put the watch in a secure location such that the calendar itself can catch up to the time you've set on the watch. If you set it so far ahead that this simply isn't practical, the timepiece will have to be reset to the correct date by an IWC qualified watchmaker, so just take care of the date when you are setting it. Take care to note the date, but also the time, as the quick set function for the calendar should never be actuated when the watch is indicating 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. This is the danger zone, during which all the functions are coordinated and jumping themselves automatically. If you try to quick set them while they're jumping automatically, you can crash the movement and damage the watch. Always screw the crown back into its flush position for protection against abrasion and water intrusion when it's not in use. Now, it's important to remember that though this watch is water resistant to 6 ATM or 60 meters static test, leather, a natural porous material, never is water resistant. Therefore, immediately dry the strap should it ever become wet or moist, and put the watch on a water-resistant band if aquatic activity is intended. Per IWC, 60 meters static test depth is sufficient for surface swimming, but not submergence. Now, you can help to avoid accidental drowning of your watch by keeping the crown flush to the case and its functions disused when there is even water on the case, never mind submerged. Attempting to use the crown with water peripheral to it can bypass the seals and introduce water to the interior of the timepiece. This will cause catastrophic cosmetic and mechanical damage. Furthermore, water resistance, unlike mechanical specification, is not a static feature of the watch. As seals age and lubricants degrade with time, the watch will be relatively less water resistant, so IWC recommends a static dry water test at an IWC authorized service center minimally every year. Magnetism is ubiquitous and unseen, but it is also a hazard to your watch. The ferrous hairspring at the center of your watch's balance can become magnetized. This will result in erratic timekeeping, either fast or slow. But in any case, it can be remediated at an IWC authorized service center with specialized equipment. Keep the watch remote from the closures of wallets, purses, and refrigerator doors, as well as speakers, subwoofers, high-powered electrical systems, and MRI equipment. Concussion, however, cannot be remediated so quickly. Minimally, concussive activity can cause timing deviation. Maximally, a shock can cause enough damage to stop the movement. Therefore, ensure the watch is disused during firearms marksmanship, the riding of ATVs or mountain bikes, batting, tennis, or golf. Ultimately, a fine mechanical timepiece per IWC requires a comprehensive service every 3 to 5 years. This will include replacement of a worn strap, restoration of factory case finish on the metal, restoration of factory water resistance, as well as cleaning, oiling, and adjustment of the caliber to retain chronometric precision. Now, it's important this be performed exclusively at authorized service centers of IWC or the factory itself, as these agencies have the trained personnel, original factory replacement parts, and specialized tools to protect the value of your watch as both instrument and as investment. Moreover, these agencies solely can back all parts and labor invested with a IWC original factory service warranty. Finally, visit our website at Govberg Watches and call, text, or email our experts who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the usage and the care of this or any IWC fine timepiece.